Yo, what's going on dudes, Impulse here, welcoming you back to another Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. So today I'm going to be having a battle against Adam, who's also known as FrozenFurret over on Amino. So you're going to see my team consists of an Ultra Beast, Garchomp, Skarmory, Chansey, Starmie and Shiinotic. While Furret's team is going to consist of Espeon, Togekiss, Type Null, Tapu Bulu, Ninetales and Marowak. This battle was pretty long, so I've speeded it up, so it's going to be a little bit faster than normal, but hopefully everything will be okay, we can bear with it and it'll be good. Remember, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy the battle, definitely hit that subscribe button. So let's jump into it. So we are challenged by Adam and I'm going to lead with my Ultra Beast. He's going to lead with his Espeon, which I predicted would happen because of Magic Bounce, and I'm going to make a terrible mistake and stay in against the Psyshock. I thought that I had a Focus Sash, but it turns out that I had leftovers. So now I'm going to bring in Starmie to resist his attack, and yeah, we're going to just keep chipping away until we can do something. I get the burn on it and it's just going to keep hitting Psyshock, and there's going to be a couple of turns of resisted damage, and I'm pretty much trying to whittle this thing down the best I can while having the maximum HP I can, because nothing on my team really could take it too well. I've got Chansey in the back and it doesn't really want to take hits from Psyshock, so I'm not going to let that happen. I'm just going to use the recover strategy, stall this thing out the best I can. When this thing goes down, I know that I'll be able to start doing stuff with my hazards. He has got the Togekiss in the back, but I'm not sure if it can learn Defog at this point, or if he'll have to wait until Pokebank gets released in January. I think that's January the 1st when that's happening, but I wasn't going to mess about risking it anyway. Finally, Espeon's going to go down. Type Null comes in, and every Type Null I've seen so far has been physical. So I'm going to switch into Skarmory, but unfortunately this one's a special one. He goes to the Thunderbolt, catches me off guard, and that's going to do a lot of damage. So I'm going to have to switch out into Chansey to take the hits. He goes for an Ice Beam, but realises he can't do anything, so he goes for a switch. Obviously predicting his switch, I'm going to go for a Toxic, but my Toxic misses, so now I'm going to have to switch out again. I decide to go out into Shiinotic since it resists the Grass type move, even though it's not very good physically. We take the Wood Hammer, we land on 1 HP, but unfortunately we are going to have to fodder this thing off. The screen freezes a second as we take another Wood Hammer to the face. We're going to go down, and that is going to be the end of Shiinotic. So I'm going to bring in Skarmory because it 4 times resists the Wood Hammer. I figured he's got a choice item on and we do resist it nicely. I'm going to be able to fire off a Roost and get back a nice amount of HP. Because we're on the ground this turn because of Roost, we're going to be able to get even more HP back because of his terrain. So my opponent's going to have to switch out, and that leaves me with a turn where I can set up some spikes. He brings Type Null back in, and obviously he knows what's coming. I'm going to switch out into Chansey, not messing about, not taking no risks. He actually predicts that, withdraws out into Marowak, takes some damage from the spikes, and now we're in a bit of a position where we have to switch back out again. I go out into Starmie figuring it could take the Flare Blitz, and he actually goes for the Double Edge. It does a nice amount of damage to Starmie, and we are able to get a recover off because my opponent's going to predict that I'm going to go for the Water type move. That's not the case though. He takes some unnecessary damage, we're able to get some HP back up, and it's looking pretty good. So I don't really want to step in here, so I'm going to go back out into Chansey, force another switch, make my opponent switch around, take some spikes damage, and at this point I've realised that he's not going to be using Defog. So I'm going to make some place to try and get some more rocks up later. I'm going to go for the Toxic on his switch, and this time it's going to connect, which is good. We can start whittling that thing down, and yeah, I'm going to have to switch out again. Thankfully though, Skarmory has got all his HP back pretty much, so we're going to be able to take whatever it wants to do. He goes for a Stone Edge, neutral damage, we take it nicely because of our high defense. So this turn I'm going to take a turn recovering up, I think, as he makes a withdraw into Marowak. He takes some more spikes damage and we're able to get our HP back up, and after leftovers and such, we're back at full. I almost considered staying in and going for another spikes, but I decide to switch out, go into the Stormy, and he does make the prediction. This is what I thought would happen, but I wasn't too sure, didn't want to risk it too much, and yeah, he makes a good play and takes down Stormy. So we're going to bring in Garchomp, who's got a Choice Scarf. We decide that because he's got the Togekiss, I'm going to go for the Rock Slide. It does some amazing damage, the terrain's going to disappear, and I'm going to be able to get a KO on the Togekiss. And now I'm really free to set up any hazards I want to do and not be scared of his resistance. So he's going to take some more damage, and I'm going to make another switch into Chansey. All the dirty tactics are here from Gen 2. The Scorn Bliss tactics are taking heed. I go for a Flamethrower to get a little bit of damage on this thing, and we're able to get a burn on. He goes out into his Ninetales. I'm going to Flamethrower that again just to get a little bit of damage on it, figuring that he can't touch me. He goes for Aurora Veil, but that doesn't really bother me too much because I plan on stalling it out a little bit. I get the Toxic off, and now it's going to start chipping away at him. I figure that I've got nothing better to do, so I might as well just go for a Soft Boiled, get my HP up to maximum. My opponent's going to start taking more damage from the Toxic as he starts firing off another Blizzard. I'm not really too fussed about that though. I'm just going to get just a teeny bit more damage on that thing just to help the Toxic along, and it's going to go down finally to Toxic. So he's going to bring out Marowak, and I'm going to decide to make a switch into Skarmory. My opponent goes for the Double Edge, which is not very effective against Skarmory. And I'm going to be able to get a layer of spikes up. My opponent does go for the Flare Blitz. Fortunately for us, we're able to survive it, which means I'm going to be able to fodder this guy off and get my final set of spikes up. They've really done the damage, and Skarmory couldn't do anything else in this battle really. So he did his job nicely, did what he needed to do, and he's going to go down. Marowak's not looking too healthy, so I'm going to bring in Garchomp. Garchomp's going to hit up a Rock Slide, and that is going to be the end of Marowak. We get the crit, but obviously we don't need it. So my opponent brings in his Type Null. After the amount of damage it took from the spikes, I decide that I'm going to switch out into Chansey. Type Null's going to go for the Ice Beam, and he gets a freeze. Unfortunately, Burns going to start doing its job, and it's going to start chipping away at us little by little with his moves, while we keep trying to use Soft Boiled. Thankfully, we're able to 4 out, we get up our HP, and my opponent is going to take some more damage. Just restoring my HP as much as possible to take a hit from the Tapu Bulu. So Type Null's finally going to go down, and all that's left is a damaged Tapu Bulu. It's going to take 25% from the spikes, and of course it's got poison on top of that, but he just goes straight for a Wood Hammer, doing massive damage, KOing Chansey, and taking himself out in the process. So good game for it. Was a really close one, down to a 1-0. Remember, if you're wanting a chance to battle on the channel, go ahead and drop your FC down in the comments down below, and go ahead and follow me on Twitter as well. All the links are down in the description. And yeah, that's going to wrap up this video. So if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to mash like, share and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Laters.